friends, let's take a look at Tezos together. Start off Tezos dollar or Tezos Bitcoin, go to Tezos dollar, go to Tezos Ethereum, all that jazz. What we've got here is the prices are at 2016. At the weekly chart, you can see that overall, we'd be putting in a higher low if we did turn around here at this point and go towards the top side. But that's not exactly inspiring overall. But it's okay. It's okay, and this is like the broad picture for us. That's fine. And we lived through this after all, did we not? In February to April, then there was this big old pump up during April now down to where we are now, and so on. If that were to be the case, that would be quite tasty. But looking down the way in the time frames, we're right here at resistance. This is the line that we need to get above at 216.7 or 2617, like we spoke about, really, and then of course up towards the 2680 area. But none of that is that's kind of splitting hairs. We could just call it 2700, since that's obvious. It's a round number, and it's where the 236 is there, and that's quite crucial towards moving up towards the 2800 area thereafter. So we can actually get above 2850 would be good, so that we could talk about having gone up past this inflection point in the market, and then we could consider about the 3000s and not whether or not we go on to make higher highs and whatnot, and all of that would be quite good if it happened in that way. But we've come through head and shoulders recently, and as we see here in the dollar prices, and we've managed to find support at that 230 area, which is what we wanted. We can look towards the 257 price point where the 21 EMA is coming in, and our previously upward sloping trend line is part of what could have been a descending triangle, which I'm totally happy to call a descending triangle or whatever anyway in amongst this sort of chat, or indeed to call a rising wedge, if that's what you want to call it, as well as part of this chat and everything else. But overall, I'm happiest of having seen this head and shoulders pan out. And if there was to be some other sort of shape on the go here, and you wanted a full measured move off the back of it, and you called it a rising wedge, for instance, and that you'd be either looking down at 130, which that's full, that's too much, and you'd really be looking down maybe perhaps towards this $2.20 area, where we didn't quite make it down as far as we went down to 225 though. So have we done close enough? Is close enough to fill this out? Well, possibly, but overall not quite really, if you were to look for the full measured move, which is why 230 becomes quite crucial, and it remains so. 250 towards the top side, as we spoke about as well, and of course 260, really, and then moving on up there afterwards. You can see the same sort of scenario really across the different time frame or the different charts here. As you can see, we already spoke about the head and shoulders dynamic there. I stuck in this here, speculatively over there. It was just a little bit sooner than that as it worked out in the end, but whatever. And you can see as well that 293 was a really important zone for us, and we didn't manage to get above it, and we did the head and shoulders thing as I scribbled on this chart there a wee while back as well. Overall, you can see we can see that we broke out of this ascending broadening wedge. If you were to have gone for some sort of measured move off the back of this type of thing and said that, okay, so this is the breakout zone here. Well, we obviously didn't quite get that full thing, but we did come back up again, retest it, and move on down as part of that head and shoulders thing. And this is, of course, the HIT BTC chart, where we don't care about it too much, but we do have this critical line at 258, and that's really where we want to see the prices moving up above 248 as well, where the 21 EMA is. But this is on the 2-day time frame. Actually, I should have been talking about it 1-day time frame, but there's the same sort of place. And we've just had a negative cross on 21 versus 55. Is that the same on all the charts? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So we'd want to see that turning around. This is the yellow line and this green line here. What about the BTC prices? Well, that's been crossed since over here. We want to see it moving up and going past this 2,800 area, so we can see these moving averages move towards the top side. That's quite important, as you can see, though, that we've had this negative cross on all of these, and that's sort of kind of been the downward trend for now. But let's hope that that's the end of that. And yeah, cool. This is some other terrible drawing, but that's cool. It's a different coin. Not going to be doing that one just now. Thanks so much for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. Oh, wait, I forgot. Tezos versus Ethereum. How are we doing? Are we getting back up yet? Okay, we're not quite getting back up yet, but let's see. We're really only looking at this in the bigger time frame pictures. It's being supported by the 144 in the 2-day, which of course would be like the 288 on the daily. Looking at this here. This is what we want to see. This to be the bottom or whatever on terms of this time frame. So we made it all the way down to 10. Let's see if we can get back up above 11 and then move towards the top side, or else we're starting to trend towards the downside. Bearing in mind that a higher low, can come in anywhere down as far as this. Pardon me. 50% retrace line. So I would only really become super bearish on a macro point of view on this one if it went down below 0.0085, really, and that looking towards 0.007, which is of course another significant drop off in price in terms of percentages. Not that anybody's trading this, but it's another 20%. If it went down past that, then then would be really concerned about the overall structure of this. But I would imagine that there would have to have been some sort of change elsewhere in the market for that to take an effect. Catch you later. Yeah, that'll have to do for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. My name's Rocky Outcrop. I'll be doing this every day. I always do. So thank you. Come back again tomorrow to see more. Share the video with a friend if you've got one that you think would like it. And of course, my YouTube URL is now available, youtube.com/c/RockyOutcrop. So you can tell your friends just, oh yeah, youtube.com/c/RockyOutcrop. Yeah, you'll see all those videos there. Good stuff. Really appreciate it. Catch you next time.